The late Nelson Mandela Bay Metro Chief Whip Bicks Ndoni is being laid to rest today in Port Ellizabeth. Ndoni was the former mayor of Uitenhage in 1998 and served as deputy mayor when the Metro was established, incorporating Uitenhage and Despatch. He played a big role when the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro was formed and later served as deputy mayor. Ndoni has been praised by the business sector in Uitenhage, especially for the work he did to help develop SMMEs in the automotive sector. Lerato Fekisi has this report.
Although the people of the Metro are now obviously weeping the death of Bicks Ndoni today being his funeral, I think people that are obviously mostly affected are those in Uitenhage, where Mr. Bicks Ndoni was the mayor of Uitenhage and also played a pivotal role in really gathering and growing the business sector. Obviously Uitenhage being the home of the automotive industry called Volkswagen, he played a pivotal role in making sure the SMMEs and the upgrowing businessmen in Uitenhage are given skills to transform and also grow their businesses. Joining me this morning is Weza Moss, a businessman in the automotive sector. Mr. Weza Moss, when you was mayor of Uitenhage in a sector like the automotive industry as a black entrance there, how was he and what role did he play in making sure that you guys get equal opportunities?
Bicks was a very influential person, decisive in whatever he was doing. The automotive sector, I can speak from even during the time I was head of corporate and government affairs at Volkswagen. There were very pertinent issues that he would discuss, whether we have international investors, when there are small, low-hanging issues that needed to be addressed, they would prioritize them because VW was one of the biggest players in and is still the biggest players in the region. The decision-making processes in the council, the discussions in committees, sitting, securing a meeting, it was an easiest thing of them all, because one of the major problems with the current crop of people when it comes to working together is that it's even difficult to return a call, even just to secure an appointment, not for a favor, but for something that was going to benefit the society at large. Bicks Ndoni would prioritize those. He would give you a hearing. And it's a big loss to the business sector. And the automotive sector is under so much pressure at this point in time from various aspects, 4IR being one of them, skills development being one of them. He was very instrumental in ensuring that the Uitenhage Dispatch Development Initiative, which was an initiative that was aimed at improving the livelihood and the socio-economic aspect of Uitenhage and Dispatch. It's a big loss to business, and we hope that there was what I would call in Xhosa ihlomelo, younger generation that will probably take over the baton and carry forward the ethos and the values that this municipality is supposed to stand for, meaning Nelson Mandela, a humble servant. Bicks lived those. Every aspect of his life, he lived those. Humility. He was you could talk anything with Bicks. Bicks, I need help with this in this regard. As a private businessman, he's helped me big time with Bicks in terms of guidance, in terms of providing some support, because he believed in entrepreneurial development. And that's the only aspect I will talk about Bicks and my interaction with Bicks. And it was it's a big loss, frankly. That's how I can put it.
Mr. Moss, just in terms of the business sector, especially like you're saying, the automotive under so much strain, what do you think some of his lasting desires and wish would be for upcoming businessmen, particularly blacks in the specific area?
I would imagine that one of the first things would be to retain the current the automotive strength within the region, because of its ripple effect, not only from VW but the supplier base. The government has put a challenge to 2035 objective to make sure that there's deepening of the value chain within the automotive sector. We double employment and make sure we improve our production output to compete globally to 1%. And Bicks would have, I can tell you right now, he would have worked very closely with the key stakeholders in the industry to make sure we go towards realizing that objective, creating of that environment, to make sure if there's investments that need to be made by these business people to accelerate some of the projects that are key, that to gain traction and ensuring that we can speed up and accelerate the socio-economic benefits that would be enjoyed by everyone. Revenue generation for the municipality in terms of electricity and water, and that would have been probably one of the things that Bicks would have advocated, that this ESCOM issue would have been a matter that I would imagine that we would engage business people on how we can make sure we've got a reliable source of electricity and energy so that we do not break the momentum and the traction that we are having currently within the business sector. That would probably would Bicks' ambition.
Wes Amos, a businessman from the automotive sector, saying that not only was Bicks Ndoni a leader within council, a leader within the ANC, but also a man who prioritized entrepreneurial development. He wanted to make sure that this lucrative market, automotive industry in the Eastern Cape is developed and grows by making sure there's equal opportunity for people of all races. A good man to be remembered, a humble man, a servant leader. That's why the settlement is coming out here in PE. For now, it's back to you in studio.